Hi, good morning, collective. Happy May 16th. May 16th. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 is Neptune. Kind of a dreamy day, if you want a high vibration, dreamy day. So, I was talking to Spirit today. You know, you can talk to Spirit. I talk to God. And he always humors me because I kind of got up in this mood like, hey, I really enjoy being in a little cabin in the woods. Being like a Snow White, you know, because I could do so good with like the animals and the birds, and I would just be so good out in the woods with a little garden and trying to humor, like trying to convince, like, you know, you get that convincing spirit, like, okay, let me convince you that this is a better choice for my life. And he's going along with it. He's like, oh, and then, you know, that the nearest town would be like, you'd have to travel for milk and supplies, like you'd have to go a long ways. And he's like trying to remind me of like, yeah, you'd kind of feel isolated, and you know, it wouldn't be like Henry David Thoreau where you'd be just writing poetry and everything be peachy, you know, Andrea. You'd probably have to chop your own wood. You'd probably have to, you know. So anyway, he's going along with this, and he's saying, you know, you want to leave the hate. That's why you're having those thoughts. And there is so much hate. And Spirit's telling me that a lot of it is three clicks away is what Spirit was trying to tell me. Like everything's 3 clicks away from people just being desynthesized. Is that how you say it? In other words, like these robots are getting up in the morning and they're 3 clicks logging into some account, checking their bank account. And it's like a ritual. It's like that's their religious ritual, is checking this bank account, right? First thing in the morning. And it's like, he just showed me like this picture of people becoming obsessed with zeros and numbers and commas, and it's not loving, right? Because it doesn't even have a name. They're just numbers. So that's what's happening, is day and night. That's all that they're concerned about, is just 3 clicks. Okay, this is where I'm at. I'm good. And then they go about their robot ways. So I feel like all this hate, because these are hate crimes. I mean, yeah, we can narrow it down to, that this group or race of people were targeted, but I believe that it's just hate. And I don't know how much of my story you're aware of, but people have gone above and beyond to show how much they dislike me, which you know, that's their prerogative. It's a free country. But I feel like when that's your goal, like if that's the first thing on your list, maybe just get some love in your life. Choose something like a hobby. And I guarantee you just have so much more fulfillment, because Spirit reminded me of that parable in the Bible with Jesus and the fig tree, and how Jesus actually cursed the fig tree because it wasn't producing. And you're like, well, gosh, that's not something an ascended person should do, curse their garden. But Jesus was an example of what our enemies do to us as spiritual ones, because if it's not producing, or the way the enemy thinks is correct, then they attack it. So the bottom line is this: every time the enemy cuts you or jabs you or tries to, you know, tear away that light inside of you, if you were a plant, you'd be like, wow, thank you, because now I can actually see the sun now, because they're pruning you. That's all it is. It's like a form of pruning for a plant. It's like, oh wow, I'm getting a little more water now, thank you. Or so it's like, you can stop all that jabbing and stuff, because I actually wake up some mornings like, wow, I see over here now, or I see over, because it's helping that plant actually be a stronger plant, all the stuff that you're doing to it, because you're taking away the stuff that it doesn't need anymore. And so I don't know, that's just my thought on it. I am concerned about the hate, though. I am concerned because I feel like we weren't put here to hate. And these rituals have made a very hateful world. These like 3 clicks away, let's click into the bank account and click here and click there and click everywhere. And it's desynthesizing us. And I just think that's not I think you need to be connected to the little things and be grateful for the little things and have a little more love. And you're like, yeah, you just said that. I know. But, oh, and the other thought he gave me is, I don't care what you drive, because, I drive like a 20-year-old vehicle, but it's paid for, right? He's like, Spirit's like, I'm more concerned about your passengers, like who you're taking on this drive. And I guess in a sense that is crucial, and maybe that's what they're showing you during the end of this cycle is just make sure that since I've taught you these things and you're developing these tools, resources, that you're very tuned into who's with you on your drive. So I'm like, okay, got it, I'm good. Can I go live in the woods now? I really tried to convince him that this is the way to go. And it wasn't gonna fly, I think. So anywho, James 1:9 in the Bible says, be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to take offense. So when someone calls you incompetent, you gotta be kind of like slow with that, right? Like, yeah, well, okay, gotcha. But not for my garden. And it's all how you would define incompetency and what you think is competent. Just because someone produces more doesn't mean it's better. I could take all day and produce one poem or one song and it be like a Billboard chart hitter. So, let the enemy come after you and do what they're going to do. But there's something about numbers. And if you're going to know, like, keep your enemies close and know what you're fighting against, it's like, how God will name the angels, like Michael and Raphael and St. Barbara. They all have names. But there's something about the underworld that is more concerned with numbers. So they must have, like, Demon 1, Demon 2, Demon 3. They don't even name them. It's just like it's a number. Yeah, right? So I don't know. Something about numbers is kind of important right now. What else were we talking about? See, I just talk to Spirit. And there's a sense of humor there too, if you want, because I'll just laugh out of nowhere, and it's because he's humoring me. Because Spirit does care about you and care about what you're thinking and what you're deciding. But collective, you are part of a symphony, this whole group of people, and I'm watching these readers, and I love the Spirit will tell me that person they're being blessed. And that just makes my heart go, yes, like, hooray, because you're part of the symphony, and what you're doing is so important. You don't even realize the one word you might speak in a reading or that one note of the song is just going to click with someone. And whether or not they abandon what they're doing as a vocation, that one note has stuck with them, and their whole walk is different because of that. So I feel like, why get caught up with that attack from the enemy, that one attack, when you realize that this song, this symphony that we're creating is affecting so many more lives? Is that what you're going to be concerned about, that one person that had to take a cut at you? Or are you going to think, wow, I just healed a nation, right? I think I'd rather take credit for some of that. So thank you for letting me being part of your symphony. Yes, amen. I cleaned a house this morning, and I feel like when I clean this person's house for them, that, like, I'm spiritually cleaning it. Because these people are on, like, a lot of medication, they're older, and stuff, but I feel like they're, like, healthier. Like, I feel like every week that I go back, like, oh my God, they're getting around it. You know what I mean? It's like, your energy is so powerful that you never realize, even just your presence in a place or a store, or that you're giving it light. So be aware of that too. And I apologize to any of these readers who, like, because I watch at least a handful of you, if that energy is transferred into your space, and because the enemy is attacking that on your channel, and I am so sorry for that, and I just feel helpless, but that's what he wants to do, is make me realize I don't care if you're you know, if this is your controlled environment, I'm going to get to your controlled environment too. I mean, it's that deep of an attack. It's like, yo, this is my home. It's terrorism. The enemy's terrorizing, you know, and I'm definitely not one of those people to be like hypochondriac and like call it out like to the neighbors and everything. Oh my God, are you, you know, I internalize it. Like I realize, wow, this is getting serious. Like they're attacking the things I'm watching, the people I'm listening to. But you might be aware of that. You might be experiencing that. So just FYI, you're not losing your mind. It's the enemy's attempt to destabilize you. So it is what it is. So I changed the channel last night. I started watching politics instead. And I still talk to the TV. I'm like, yo, it don't matter what I watch. I'm going to talk to the TV. Because I have an opinion on things and situations, like what's going on, what's happening. But yeah, lots of hate crime on TV last night. It really hurt my heart. It hurt my heart. Because it doesn't have to be like that. But a lot of what Spirit's telling me is it's because people just, first thing they do is go to the whatever bank they're banking with and check those commas and those zeros. And like, who the hell has commas in their bank account? That's what I want to know, right? I don't have that many commas, but I good, okay? No, and I watched a little bit of I watched ministry on the YouTube too, and they're reminding me that don't worry about the things you wear or the food that you eat. Don't worry about these things. Like the tree doesn't worry, you know, oh, am I gonna have enough water? The tree and the birds outside they don't look fazed at all. They don't look worried at all. So why are you so worried about these things? Kind of reminding me like, you're right. Like, it is what it is. So I can either use my energy in a creative way and talk to you folks, or I can stress out and go all around town filling out applications for random jobs. Or, you know, just, it's how your time is your resource, right? It's what's most valuable. So use it in a way that's most productive to the universe. Hey, and I saw a deck of cards that I really was interested in. A lot of these decks I'm interested in. I'm not purchasing any right now. I have other decks. I have like this one. A lot of you guys use this one. I have this one. I don't know if you've seen this one. This was a gift from a friend. But they're incomplete because I also wear tarot cards. So I can't really, you know, like the Ace of Pentacles and stuff, yo, that's with me. They're incomplete. And then these ones, I wrote a bunch of notes on them. This is something you can do too if you're like starting to learn tarot. And basically like the planet, the element, the time. I guess there's like time frames too. This is the Two of Pentacles, and this is between December 21st to the 30th, and rules Jupiter for the Two of Pentacles, and it's a winter card. So I don't know. I wrote the notes, but then I didn't use them after I wrote the notes. Maybe because there was a lot of notes. I just need to go through here and study more of them. But I started with astrology. I never was a tarot person. I started doing charts when I was in my 20s and had books and books and books. But all through my moving and transitioning and going through different things would get left behind or destroyed or lost, or you know how when you're moving. So I don't have any of those resources, but that's how I started. And but I always felt like tarot was like crossing the railroad tracks to the other side of the tracks. Like it's a little bit more down and dirty. That's kind of why I found a respect for it, because it was a little more gangster. Because astrology is complicated. You got to learn all those, like, you know, it's very numerical too. It's just, it's almost like a classical music versus like we're playing the blues kind of thing with tarot. Like this is so anyway, that might help you if you're deciding, well, which do I incorporate both or do I do one or the other? You do kind of where you resonate, because if you're more mathematically inclined, I'd say go with astrology, swear to God. because that's going to help you with all those positions and planets and how they're aspected. And you can count like, oh, well, this is the expected life of this person, and this is when they go through the Saturn return, and I mean, it gets really down and dirty. So, okay, let's read some cards for today. I'm sorry, my energy's kind of like, because, you know, I'm just so tired. Like, I'm tired from all the attacks and stuff. And it's like, yo, I'm just doing what I can do. Like, so, but I love you guys. And you're the only thing keeping this light as bright as it is. So I love you, and I send many blessings to all these readers. You're all amazing. Male readers, too. I'm watching about everybody. But, okay, so, in the middle of the deck, reading, Celtic Cross. We've got High Priestess. So this may be resonating to me, or this may be resonating to you. Take it how you would like to interpret this, but this is intuition. She has a lot of secrets. She resonates to the moon, I believe. Yeah, it's 2. So that's the moon. Right now, I think we have a full moon in Scorpio. I think it's a full moon in Scorpio. I think so. So it might be an emotional couple of days with that Scorpio going, because Scorpios are emotional, right? But it's very controlled too. So it gives you an opportunity to really tap in tight with that moon. This is what's crossing in. So the first thought that came to my head, which is probably the most accurate when you're reading, is to say that somebody's been working on this High Priestess. And they're kind of examining what they've attempted and what they're doing. They're kind of like, they're taking a step back and they're going, is this working against this person? Is this person like showing any signs of falling over dead? Probably not. But this person is wanting to see, are the effects of what I'm doing and sending out, are they affecting this person? So that's how I would interpret this card. You are unconscious of this energy. Maybe people are seeing you as this person, or maybe because you're doing something different, this is how you're seen, but you're unconscious of that. You really, at this point, it's too late at this point, right? You've gone this many steps, you've learned so much, it's been really valuable. And this, you're unconscious of it. That's this position right below the center. And this is what you're conscious of. Relationships, right? Just because you've cut off a lot of things doesn't mean you don't still have relationships around you that need nurturing. So this is what you're conscious of. You definitely want to keep nurturing those that are still important to you and around you that need attention, even though they're looking at you like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing exactly? And that's okay, because sometimes you just need to take a little break. And that's what you're doing, because you're the most valuable player on this game board here. So, yeah, this is choices, right? 2 people holding 2 cups. They're kind of just looking at each other like, yo, what are you doing? Are you going to go my way? Red Rover, Red Rover. And the other guy's like, what are you doing? Are you going to come my way? Red Rover, Red Rover. And then you got this nice little medical symbol and the, like, oh, it'd be so healing if you could just meet some common ground. Common ground would be awesome, by the way, if there hadn't have been so many jabs at the garden. I feel like a lot of you guys have been so attacked that it's like, it's beyond the point of meeting a middle ground. It's like, you know, you don't think I know, but I know. I do. I'm so sorry. And at this point, you're not invited to go in my vehicle, because Spirit has already told me I'm watching the passengers you put in your vehicle, whether you realize it or not. So, moving away from new opportunities, because I feel like, because that cycle's closed, you could go out and do new things, right? You don't have to, I mean, God used this to have time with you. He chose this as a way to spend time with you. But that cycle's done. So you don't have to stay with that. It might have been something you just, you know, kind of a temporary gig that you're in right now. You can go and do something different if you wanted to. But you're moving away from that toward, oh, this looks good. Leaving something in the cold. You're going to be leaving something behind. And you know what those things are that you're going to for sure now leave behind, because after you've been on this whole journey, God's like been directing the traffic. He's been putting thoughts in your mind and letting you be a part of this collective symphony. Now, what are you going to do when you walk away? What's coming with you? What to keep and what to throw away? That's that card. What to keep and what to throw away. And I've got to take my garbage out today. I keep forgetting to put my garbage out. It's really funny because I have to walk my garbage like a mile. I'm not kidding you. You know, most people can just roll their little cart out and the guy comes right to the curb. We live like kind of off the tracks a little bit, so I have to like walk it to the main road. It's kind of a pain in the arse, I'm just saying. All right, toward this King of Pentacles. So you may not feel like this. You may not feel like, yo, I don't feel like this. But this is how the universe sees you right now, spiritually, with that coin and that authority. So regardless of what's tangible and what you're counting and what you are expending at this time, the spirit world has put this badge on you. That's your title. Because you've already processed this stuff. You've let go of some things. And it's almost like the universe is like, you don't even know. You don't even know. So that's pretty cool, right? This is how other people see you in the sun. Oh my God, look at her. She's going to burn herself on the sun. I hope not. Being burnt by the sun. So people are watching, people are listening. Is this person for real, or is this person a unicorn? They've got to be an imaginary figment of somebody's imaginary world. Yeah, so you're in the sun right now. Even though I was just talking to Spirit about, hey, can I go live in the woods in a little cabin with the little animals? I don't think that's what he has intended for me. He may have intended that for you. And I'm really jealous if you get that, because look how peaceful you're going to be. When I was a little kid, I used to draw pictures. And I would draw like these underground pictures of like rabbits living underground, and and I'd set up their little house down there, like their little beds and stuff, and their kitchens and things. And I was like, I just had this infatuation with living underground. And now I know what my spirit was trying to tell me at 5 years old. Because that's where you're gonna want it. That's where you feel like you're gonna need to be, right? Is underground. Hopes, fears, wishes. So you just kind of need some information. I mean, you're kind of hanging out. You're good. Information would be better though. Like you would be better if you had some information. So this person on this horse, they are holding that little pinnacle there. And I'm not saying it's like going to be the happiest of news, but it's definitely going to help. It's not so much an answer to prayer as it is an answer to maybe just rest and relaxation. And okay, thank you for that little bit, because I feel better now about this journey I've been on. So that's kind of what that's where your hopes and wishes are right now.
So I feel like whoever this Robert person is, they see that you were actually sent there to take them down.
I love her. She's so kick-ass. And I don't comment or read comments or do thumbs up. I'm so sorry. I'm just a shitbird to be part of this collective thing, and I apologize. But spiritually, I am like, I'm giving you little accolades all the freaking time. So I hope you feel that, or you feel that energy, because I have to just do this for me, see? So I'm not like interested in numbers or counts or what have you. Like, I'm like, yo, if I do that, then it's just downhill from there, because I'll just obsess about it. So I just don't. This is the outcome. 9 of Pentacles. So that's you. Independent with your garden. Boom, I'm good. And you've closed the cycle. So like I say, you can go toward this. You can do something else. I mean, God's not holding you back now, because he's got you kind of where he needs you mentally. But, you need resources. So if it's time to go get those resources, I believe Spirit's giving you kind of the okay to like, okay, go clean another house if you need to. Go work wherever you need to do. Whatever you need to do. because this is you. Okay? All right? You know you're protected, so don't be paranoid or like someone's out to do something to harm you, because no one's going to harm you. Okay? This was all preordained that you be a part of this. And you can still do your videos too. Like, I still plan on doing my videos. But you did it. So, like in the Bible, they have this word called Salah, where it's like after a psalm. David wrote all the psalms, and when he'd finish a psalm, he'd put Salah, and that's like your. See, that's what this is. So I love you. I love you. Keep doing awesome work, and thank you for letting me be part of the symphony. Have an awesome May 16th. Bye.